Everybody had their moment along the way in helping to build the success that we found by the end. You look at Marvin stepping up with a huge race at the conference meet, really doing phenomenal there. Josh winning gas, coming in third, really against some very good guys there. And I think that helped set a tone that, hey, we're actually, we can do this, and got our confidence going a little bit better. And then at regionals, Josh being a little bit injured and struggling a little bit that day. He only ran one day in the previous 8 days leading up to the regional meet, and a 30-minute run the day before the meet does not make you feel very good. So he was struggling, but then Pierre stepped up huge to be 9th in the West region. Pierre went from 12th in the conference meet to 9th in the region, and the top finisher from the conference. So that was his day. Brett Bermudez stepped up huge. We wouldn't have been at nationals without him on that day. Whereas at conference, he had food poisoning and didn't race. And then at nationals, Josh Thorson made his way back and moved up from 121st position at 3,000 meters, and at a different point ran with each of his 3 teammates ahead of him, helped them out a little bit, and then finishes in the last All-American spot. And I know that he helped those guys along the way, where whether it was he helped Kris move up in his wake, or Gas, who'd gone out hard and was hurting, helped him kind of stick with it a little bit more. Same with Pierre, just helped him kind of stick for a little bit and get a little deeper into the race, maintaining the position that he had.
Even before the race, you could tell that the team was really well grounded, which I think is something that a lot of teams on their first time at nationals are not experiencing. That they're caught up in the fact. Their teams there. Like, obviously we didn't have any fans there. We're 3,000 miles away. But there are teams there where they've got 50 guys chanting and like all this craziness going on, and I felt like all the team was just pretty much ready to go, which I think translated to everybody racing pretty close to their potential, rather than making big tactical mistakes or just getting up in their head. So yeah, I think from that perspective, even right from the beginning, before the race even started, I thought that we were on like the right foot. I think we were close to around 100th at the first 1,000 meter, and I think actually after that, people continued to pass us for another 1,000 or 2,000. So I think by like the 3,000, we were like 120th, something like that. But that was right about where you could tell a lot of people started to feel it, because like that first 1,000 was at least, it was probably about 20 seconds faster than the average K was supposed to be, which is pretty like significant. And on top of that, right around after 3,000 meters, there was a huge uphill. And so that was where I think me and Kris started moving up. So
I think the reason that we as a team did significantly better than a lot of other teams is that when it comes to nationals, it's such a big event, and a lot of people get kind of overwhelmed with the amount of people and how fast the race goes off. So I think definitely the fact me and Josh especially were very conservative in the first kind of stage of the race. I think a K in, they called out like a 1K split, and Josh was like, "Did you hear that?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Okay, don't worry." He didn't want me to kind of panic because the pace was so fast. But yeah, it was just, I think before the race we spoke about it and we said we just need to go into this race like we have every single other race of the season, because I think a lot of teams, once they make nationals, they get to nationals, and a lot of people tend to kind of bottle it in the race. Either they go off too fast or they get overwhelmed and they kind of just like don't potentially place where they should have placed. So I think that played a key role in how well we did as a team, because everyone ran a solid race, because we went out there and approached it how we approached every other single race in the season that we've done. And so yeah, I think that's why it showed in the results. Definitely how like dense we were as a team in the pack as well.
Yeah.
A major thing was right at the beginning of the season, before we even had any races, we got together as a team and we said, right, these are our goals for the season. And I think we knew, saying the first meeting we said to each other, right, we want to go to nationals. Then we was like, we don't just want to go to nationals, we want to be top 10 at nationals. And I think we knew in the shape we were in at that time, we knew that there was going to be a lot of work that we had to put in. So I think getting there and getting 11th, yeah, it wasn't top 10, but it was still obviously a great achievement for the team, considering for like prior 3 weeks of nationals, we weren't even ranked nationals. Yeah. I was really, really pleased with how we did as a team. I think part of our success this year has been because we've been much more tight-knit kind of as a family. Everyone's kind of looking out for each other. It's not a bunch of individuals like some teams are. I know Torrey recruits in a way where he thinks someone's going to fit in with the team as opposed to he's just a very good individual athlete. And I think that plays a big role in our success this season.
We wanted to do this all year, and we said this is our goal, but after the race was over, but before the results came out, they didn't know. They weren't confident that we did that. And then it happened, and I could see on their faces, hey, we really did this. We are as good as we said we wanted to be. And then going into nationals, they didn't know exactly what to expect. Pierre had run it before. Josh had run Division III nationals. Nobody else had been there, and not with a team, certainly. But then after nationals, to feel like, hey, wow, their goal was top 10 and they finished 11th, so they fell 1 point short or 3 points short or whatever it was. But I think they had this realization, like, we really do belong here, and we're excited about next year, especially for those who are coming back. So, and about track season and everything like that. So it was just a tremendous experience in terms of changing the expectations that they've had for themselves.